Hey Mass Machines, it's Hender JB. And where am I at today? Well, I'm at a local park not far from my office, and I'm on my lunch break, and I decided I'd come here today to shoot this video. Why? Well, for two reasons. One, because I thought I would have better focus, and that's exactly one thing that I'm going to talk about today. And two, because I asked myself, how can I make things more enjoyable? And I said, you know what? It's a beautiful day. I want to go out in the sunshine today, so here I am. Now, the thing that Skip wants us to focus on this week is just that, focus. And it just so happens that today's a prime day for me to talk about focus, because I don't know if you saw it this morning or not, but I uploaded the video after I was finished with my leg workout. Had a great leg workout, and leg workouts for me are so much about focus. More almost than any other body part that I train, and that's because legs are one of the toughest body parts for me to train. So I'm going to walk you through my logbook today, and this is going to also be part of my journal entry, and we're going to talk about focus. First off, I'm going to start talking about abs, and that's because I start my workout every other day with abs. Now, I used to hate this when my trainer had me starting with abs, but now I realize the effectiveness and the importance of it, because you can put more focus on your abs and not put them to the end. So, you know, my ab workout today consisted of, first off, lying leg raises, and actually put weights on my ankles because I'm trying to build some dense muscle mass. And there's a lot of focus that goes into this, because you got to not bring your legs so far down that it hits your hip flexors and you lose focus in your abs. Then I went over to the rope crunch, and I'm going really heavy on these. I'm putting the stack on 150 pounds, which is a heavy stack for me, and in my gym with that particular stack. And when I do those, I have to make sure when I'm pulling with the rope and I'm crunching that I keep the focus in my abs and I'm not pulling with my arms on the rope. Next, scissor crunches, and I've got weights on my ankles still left over from when I did the leg raises on these. Focus. You got to focus to keep your balance as you're doing those scissor crunches. You got to focus to keep it in your abs and not in your hip adductors. So anyway, we get done with our 3 rounds of those, and we head into the leg workout. What do I have first? I've got quad extensions. All right, the first set of these, I got to get in the zone here. So I'm taking them slow, up and down. I'm holding for peak contraction at the top, squeezing. I'm doing a slow negative. I'm focusing on feeling my quads. Second set, you know, I go a little bit faster, still maintaining that focus. And I keep building and increasing the weight, maintaining the focus in my quads. Second off, I've got to go to the leg press. Leg press, all right, I want to go as heavy as I can possibly go. But there's 2 ways you can do these. You can drop it down fast into the hole and you can slam it back out, or you can keep focus on your quads and constant tension. So I go as heavy as I can. I focus on controlling the negative. I focus on squeezing and pushing with my quads on the way up. Focus, going heavier every set, but maintaining focus. All right, then I've got to do hack squats, and I'm supposed to do hack squats. I'm supposed to control the weight, really do a slow negative and control it. These, you know, I definitely find a difference. If I drop all the way down to my ankles, you know, if I go so low beyond parallel that my butt actually almost hits the platform where my feet are on, I can power out, and I can really use my hips to drive it out of the hole with, and it can get into my knee joints, and I can actually lose focus on the quads and the hams that I'm actually trying to work. So today when I'm doing these, I'm just going to parallel. Constant motion up and down, keeping focus in the quads, complete and total control of the weight. And that's one thing that's very important. You must feel in control of the weight at all times, because if you don't have control of the weight, then you won't have proper focus, and that is the only time that you risk injury. So I finish with these. Then I'm on to barbell stationary lunges. These for me are harder almost than anything I do, because it's so much balance. So much balance, your legs have so much fluid and so much pump in them from what you just did. It's really hard to keep focused on that balance and work hard. So what I actually have to do, because my legs are so pumped, I had to do a set with the bar, and that might sound just freaking weak as hell. And you know what? I don't care if it does sound weak as hell, because you do the leg press and you do the hack squat that I just did, and your legs will be so pumped that you need to do a set with the bar too, because you've got jelly legs and you just need to get your mental focus before you put any weight on that bar. So I actually had to do 3 warm-up sets of these, because I just had such a pump in my quads. I was having trouble with going heavy and I didn't want to lose the focus. So I did 3 warm-up sets and then I proceeded them with my 3 working sets, which took me some extra time, but that's what I needed to do to get the job done. Then we go on to the lying leg curls. You know, on these, I've got to keep the focus, the squeeze in my hamstrings, keep my hips down on the pad, not to transfer the focus into my hips, but to keep it in my hamstrings. Actually, at this point, I have to change my songs because I've got to get that intensity. I've got to keep driving. I've been driving for a while now, and I'm starting to get a little tired. And then my last set for legs is barbell, for this workout anyway, it changes every week, is barbell stationary, or barbell deadlifts, stiff-legged deadlifts. On these, another tremendous focus needs to go into these, because if you don't have the right technique, if you don't keep your knees locked, if you don't squeeze with your glutes and your hamstrings, you'll lose the focus in your legs and it'll transfer to your lower back. Also, another tip that I picked up when reading a Kai Greene article last week was to turn your toes outward, and it actually puts more tension on your hamstrings. So I tried this technique a little bit today. I did find it effective to keep focus in the hamstrings. After that, I do have a back pump set that I do. On those, I have these, what I used today, because this was a back pump set, I wanted to completely keep it in my back. I have these wrist wraps. They're actually called Holland hooks, and they've got metal hooks on the end of them, and that totally prevents you from being able to use your arms as much, and you really have to feel it in your back and keep the focus in your back. So that, my friends, my Mass Machine friends, is the focus that went on today. Now right now, I'm going to take a second, kick back, relax, and focus on getting this next meal in on time. Train hard and think big.